know what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to welcome our new sponsor, 500 Level, www, shouldn't be using that, 500level.com, where they sell all sports clothing and all this wonderful stuff. And support the Monty and the Farrow Show. Please use the code MP20, that's MP20, and get a luxurious 20% discount with 500 Level sports gear. And right now they're offering a holiday special with 10%. So that's a whole 30% off the garments. Jimmy, you just being part of their sponsorship, ordered yourself a nice little T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging the great tribal chief. Yo, by the way,
I'm really surprised you went that route, dude. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, you know, it's funny. As I was looking through, and by the way, they have a lot of great stuff for you folks out there. When you get to that site, there's a lot of good. Dude, I was tortured. You said to me, pick a shirt, and I'm like.
And by the way, it's just not wrestling, dude. It's all sports. Like, I was surprised you went wrestling. I was like, really, dude?
Well, you know, I mean, after all, they've been, kind enough to be our sponsor, and we're going to have a partnership with them. Of course I'm going to do wrestling. It's a wrestling show. Sometimes it's a wrestling show, right, Mike?
Sometimes. And let's not reminder, MP20 for a luxurious 20% off of 500 Level. And like I said, for the holiday, they're offering another 10%.
What do you think I was going to pick? Like Aaron Judge or something? I don't really.
Dude, I know. I was thinking to myself, is he going to go Yankees or Jets? And if he goes wrestling, he's not going Rome. Like, I was shocked. I thought you would go Hulk Hogan, Savage, Ultimate Warrior even.
No, because right now, the very thing that you and I talk about from week to week and we pine for is the return of the great tribal chief. Look, we really did enjoy that. Yeah, we really did love that reign.
By the way, I got to show you something here. Do you see this? I got this T-shirt.
Look at that. There you go.
It's really cheesily made, but I fucking
love
it.
It's the message that counts.
By the way, I got to ask.
Frankie, it's time to get down. You know.
Speaking of Frankie, as you grew this relationship with this animal, how many years were you together?
Oh, we was together probably 25.
25 years.
Well, these birds live a long time.
They live 100 years old. That's what they tell me.
So, how was it when you lost them?
Well, that was sad when I lost Frankie. You know, it was heartbroken, and we was in church, and the house caught a fire, and my neighbor, in fact, my kids would have been in that house fire too if my wife said, let's just go ahead. We got up early. Me and her got up early. We only 5 minutes from the church, so we said, honey, just let the kids rest. You know, they was up Saturday night a little late. You know, let them go ahead and rest. And we only 5 minutes away from our church. And then we ate breakfast and all that. And then she said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get the kids. Let's go ahead and get them up. They need to go to church. And you know what? God was looking over us on that one. He was watching, man. He took care of us on that one. When we got to the church, man, like 45 minutes. The deacon came over and said, Koko, man, y'all house is on fire. And I said, oh, God. And this time, I kept a lock on Frankie's cage because he had the tendency to unlock it himself and get out. And he'll chew up the lamps or whatever wood. He just, they're messy. They're really messy birds. And I love them, but they're just real messy. And when I got there, man, the fire trucks and everybody was there, and I went around the back of the house, and I was gonna kick the back door because his cage was right by the back door, and this neighbor that I never met before down the street, he was down on his knees just crying away, man, just bawling, man, and he said, Koko, he looked up at me, man, tears, and he said, "Koko, I try to save your child. I try to save your child. All I could hear your child was saying, 'Let me out, let me out.'"
Right.
When Frankie wanted to get out of the cage, he would tell you, "Let me out, let me out." That's what, and I have to let him out of the cage. So I told him, sir, sir, it was like a kid of mine, but it wasn't my own kid. I said, that was my pet bird I had in there. But he sure sounded just like a kid. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I can hear it now. And when the farmers, I had the farmers, when they found, they opened the cage, they put him in a sack. And I never did open the sack. And I just, you know what? I just went on in the backyard, and I buried Frankie in the backyard. And man, you talking about really, it's just like losing a kid. I lost a good one because he was my bread and butter.
Yeah, well,
You know, and he helped me.
got you over big time.
He helped me to get up there.
Yeah.
And this was just all. It was just all about.
Can I ask what year this was, if I may?
I think it was. I can't even remember.
This is before your induction, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just took an animal.
The family, right? They're
A family animal to get me over. But I trained this wild animal.
Sure.
When they brought it to me, he was wild. He will fight. He will bite. I get bite marks on my
he
finger
bites
now.
you?
He will bite. He would do it all.
I tell you
He
what,
would-
on camera, he came across as a pro's pro.
He was mean,
Whatever that's worth.
and
Hey.
I had to really work with him, and to get the point across. Hey, either we're gonna be friends or we're gonna fight every night or whatever, and then we're gonna go out here and we're gonna do this together.
How was he able to travel with you? Like, how was that arranged? Like,
Well,
on
I
the
had a-
plane, like, where was he stored?
Well, all the planes got
They
a
got
place
something
for
for him?
animals
Okay.
up underneath.
I haven't had much experience
For
bringing
the
my
heat-
pets on a plane. I'm
for
just
the
asking.
heat, It's
Right.
the winter time, for the air conditioning. It's in summer,
Right.
well, and it's a little more expensive now. But man, but we went everywhere except Canada. I couldn't take him out of the country
Oh, okay.
at all. And one time I took him. We landed in Nassau, Bahamas. It didn't have no trouble getting Frankie into Nassau. But on the way out on the USA side, I had nothing but trouble getting him out of the Bahamas. In fact, I told him I missed the flight. I mean, I was over there for 4 hours later. I said, I'm not leaving Bahamas
No.
without my bird.
Right. Nope.
And when they made sure my bird was on this plane, I made sure. I said, I got to go down there and see myself. They had to walk me down and see Frankie underneath this plane.
Yeah.
You know, I said, okay, I can get on. I can get on the flight, but I never went back to Bahamas again.
So all your work together, though, you like you said, he was your child. I mean, you talked about WrestleMania 3. Like, did Frankie know it was showtime eventually? Now he was ready to go.
Frankie knew it was showtime.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
he knew there was showtime, big time. Every time he wouldn't come out, he used to not come out of his cage. Now, when it's time to go, he knows he load himself up. I can just leave the door open and he'll walk. And